This week, it's back to school for the hotel inspector.
We want 5 stars.
This is bullshit, 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 bullshit. I think it's unrealistic, Ellie. If they don't get their finger out, I'm sorry, this business might well collapse.
Please, Rob.
No, I'm just sorry. I've fucking had enough.
This is the Haven Hotel, a 9-bedroom guest house located in the faded seaside town of Great Yarmouth. The Haven is owned and run by young couple Rob Farrow and Ellie Koopman. 3 months ago, Rob and Ellie threw in their well-paid jobs to gamble on a new career.
It's always been my pipe dream, hasn't it, to have a hotel.
But the harsh realities of the hotel business have taken their toll on the couple's dreams.
We never imagined it was going to be easy. I think it's just there's a lot more gone wrong in the first 3 months than I think anyone could have predicted or anticipated.
In a few short months, the rundown guest house has devoured all their savings.
What we did have has all gone, and I've had to borrow some off parents.
We're getting on for about £20,000 now, aren't we?
Yeah, at least.
In 3 months.
And running a hotel together hasn't lived up to their fantasy, putting a strain on their relationship.
I always used to be a really tolerant, level-headed person, but since starting this, because of everything that's happened, everything just riles. Oh, no, not again.
Despite the turmoil, they're not short on ambition. Ellie wants to turn the currently ungraded hotel into Great Yarmouth's first 5-star guest house.
There's a lot of 4-star guest houses in this area, and we want to be the first 5-star.
But in the last month, they've barely managed to get any guests at all. They've got a long race ahead of them, but they've fallen at the first hurdle.
There is a chance we could lose it.
If that did happen, I'd feel absolutely gutted if we did lose it. Because we've put so much, we've been here 3 months and we've put so much work and effort into it. It would, be a shame to see it all, fly off down the road.
They're hoping respected hotelier Ruth Watson can bring their 5-star dream within reach. Ruth's aim is to assess the hotel and come up with a plan to rescue Rob and Ellie's floundering business from going under.
Pretty uninspiring reception. Hello.
Hello. Hi. I'm Ruth. How do you do?
Hi, I'm Ellie.
Hello.
How are you?
Hi. I'm fine.
Good.
Hi, I'm Rob.
Hello, Rob. Hi. You're married?
No, just living together.
Not yet.
Not yet, no,
Haven't
I'm working
made
on
it.
it.
Time is of the essence, so Ruth gets straight down to business in the hotel's public lounge.
Have you any regrets about being B&B owners?
First couple of months or
First day, we signed on the line at 4 o'clock in the afternoon on a Friday. And I think by the time we got to bed, which is, wee hours of the morning, we wanted to phone up on a Monday and sell it.
Really?
If we could have phoned up on Saturday, I think we would have done.
Do you feel you're lacking confidence?
Yeah.
Probably. At the end of the day, we've been doing it 3 months.
When you started this all off, did you have a vision?
We want to be Yarmouth's first 5-star B&B.
Okay, why?
Because I tend to set myself too high.
I'm all for quality. I'm all for doing a good job, absolutely. I think maybe 5 stars might be just unnecessary in the sense that if you aim for 3 or 4 stars, that you could still get just as much money out of it, still do a very good job. And I have to say that unless you're doing something hellish, I would say that you can probably get 2 stars anyway. One of the things I've immediately thought when I walked in and took a peek through here was that this room is just so not you. I mean, it is just so turgid and dreary and dull and old-fashioned and awful. The fact is, if somebody does walk off the street, you walk in here and immediately the impression is set, and it's the wrong one.
To gain a thorough understanding of the fledgling business, Ruth will stay the night.
These are very steep, these staircases, aren't they? Yes.
Ellie escorts her upstairs to room 1, the first completed renovation.
Ah, this is a bit different from downstairs, isn't it? So this is your taste, this is what you want to do? Yeah. Well,
This is my red room.
Okay.
I'll leave you to settle in.
Thank you. Thanks. Well, it's good they've got a guest information pack. Got the necessary things about emergencies and fire. Pillows are fine and the bed seems, I think, okay.
Ruth seems happy with the direction the new rooms are heading in, but a look at the hotel's unrefurbished rooms tells a very different story.
The really mildly upsetting thing is that somebody actually has decorated this within recent history. But the curtains are revolting and the bedhead's revolting and the carpet's revolting and the furniture's revolting. In fact, the entire thing is revolting, and good for Ellie and Rob for thinking that they really need to change it. This is just so symptomatic of old-fashioned seaside hotels, and they wonder why they do so badly.
With 8 rooms in total, only half have been refurbished. Rob and Ellie have decided not to use the other 4 till the work's completed, but that means losing revenue they can ill afford. The unrefurbished rooms and public areas are nowhere near 5-star. But Ellie's not about to adjust her lofty aspirations.
I'm not going to settle for 2 stars. Or 3.
In just 7 weeks, it'll be Easter, the start of the vital holiday season. If the Haven's to avoid financial ruin, it's imperative all of the rooms are up and running by then.
Good afternoon, welcome to the Haven Hotel. Ellie speaking.
But is the Haven beyond help?
Right now, unless everyone gets their finger out, you're going to die, basically.
Three months ago, Rob Farrow and Ellie Koopman abandoned well-paid jobs to pursue Ellie's dream of becoming Great Yarmouth's first 5-star guest house.
Good afternoon, welcome to the Haven Hotel. Ellie speaking.
But the hotel they bought turned into a money pit. The couple built up massive debts and are struggling to cope.
We're getting on for about £20,000 now, aren't we?
Yeah.
Enter Ruth Watson. She's started the process of steering the Haven out of deep water. As part of her inspection, Ruth has spent the night at the hotel in room 1.
Didn't sleep as well as I might have done because, to be quite honest, although the bed I think is new, it's really quite cheap, and I think this is such a false economy. But aside from that, this is a really spacious room. It's pretty well appointed. It's got a plug and a mirror where I can dry my hair, which is fabulous and doesn't often happen. The bathroom's really clean, which is a marvel, and I think they're, doing a good job.
The furniture may be new, but if the quality is not up to scratch, then Rob and Ellie won't get the 5 stars they're after. Time to assess the Haven's breakfast. The traditional full English is off the menu due to a collapsed kitchen wall, so Ellie is forced to offer guests nothing more than the healthy option.
I'm preparing breakfast like this at the moment because our kitchen is out of action. So we're putting out orange juice, fresh milk and fruit.
Oh, hello.
Good morning.
Hi, that looks so pretty.
Heavy, okay.
That's fantastic. Are you normally this generous?
Yes, we are.
Very beautiful, thank you.
Enjoy your breakfast.
See you later. Now, the only problem is, where do you eat it?
Ruth seemed pleasantly surprised, I think, at the amount of fruit that she gets, and she did ask whether that was something that is standard, and it is, much to Rob's disgust.
Now, I understand about the problem with the kitchen and having this up here, and I understand I can make my tea over there, but where do you actually eat your cereals? I wouldn't want to eat them in bed. I suppose I could eat them on my knees over there. I think they need to think this one through. There's plenty of space for a little table and 2 chairs.
The makeshift breakfast is only temporary. Once the kitchen's up and running, the basement dining room will be called into action. Ruth heads downstairs to take a look.
There must be a shop somewhere that I don't know about called Horrible Bed and Breakfast Furniture. Just horrible. Net curtains horrible, horrible wallpaper, everything horrible.
Like the public areas, the dining room is desperately tired and about to get a rude awakening. Upstairs, Rob's busy revamping room 2, one of the Haven's largest rooms. Ruth is eager to find out how he's dealing with the pressure of refurbishing the whole hotel by himself.
Ah, there you are, Rob.
Hello.
Hard at work as ever.
Yes.
The way your jobs are dividing at the moment, you're very much on the kind of let's get this place sorted out
Yeah.
decoratively. She's looking after the phone, the bookings, the
Yes.
business end of
Yeah.
things. But you don't see a point where you'll be stepping on each other's toes. Do you feel that you're going to work out how it all...
Yeah.
Is this because Ellie's going to tell you what to do?
Probably, like most women.
And you're quite happy for her to be the driver and you're the brake? Is that something you
Yes.
don't... Yeah?
Yeah, very much the break.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she sometimes wants to, you know, take you to the garage and have the brake removed, presumably.
More often than not, yes.
Ruth heads back down to reception to get Ellie's take on the business.
Hello, Ellie. I thought I might find you here while
Yes.
Bob's grafting away.
Yes.
This is your department.
Yes, this is my domain.
But if Rob is answering the phone, have you got any kind of script, as it were, so that you're all singing from the same hymn sheet? Do you use that?
Yes, we do. We've got it blue tacked on here, and it says "Good morning, stroke afternoon, stroke evening. Welcome to the Haven Hotel. X speaking. How can I help?" And Rob says it down to the T.
And you don't?
I don't. I drop the "How can I help?"
Why?
I feel a bit like I'm in a call centre taking telephone calls.
Well, it sounds as if you've got the basics of reception pretty well sorted. The only thing I would say, and it gets back to the look and feel again, is that this is not the most glorious cubbyhole in the world, is it? It's a bit like I'm buying a train ticket 50 years ago.
It's time for Ruth to tackle Rob and Ellie with her findings, so she sits them down in the hotel's unused dining room. She wants the Haven to get a nationally recognised rating.
One of the things I think we can get almost immediately, even without having done the other rooms and the hallway and everything else, is a rating. I have been to so many places that have got 2 or 3 stars. I cannot see that you're any less than them even now. Does that surprise you?
Despite only having 3 months' experience, Ruth's comment seems to have offended the ever-ambitious Ellie.
Potentially, you know, worst case scenario, get 2. Best case scenario, get 3.
Would be disappointing, but can I tell you...
Personally, it would be
But can I
yes,
tell you
but-
immediately why that would be not disappointing? Because they are expecting more now. So don't be disappointed.
Ruth also wants to modernise the public areas, especially the hotel's lounge, which is selling the Haven short.
The other thing that is so obvious is that first impression thing. You know, you come through the door, and honestly, if I'd been a customer, I would have taken one look at that and walked back down the steps.
Finally, she wants to accelerate the work. The start of the summer season's no longer an aim, but a must.
Now, Rob, don't want to get at you because you're doing a good job, but it's a little bit kind of like, oh, I'm having a nice time tinkering along here, and I would like to feel a sense of, if I don't get this done by Easter, my God, we're going to be in the mire, because actually you are. You know, really, Rob, got to really up the ante on this.
With half their rooms out of action till they're refurbished, the couple are throwing away revenue they dearly need.
I mean, this is serious stuff. You cannot be taking £400 or £500 a month come Easter.
No.
I mean, seriously, you can't. This will be up for sale before you get there.
Okay.
You know that, don't you? I mean, you're getting to the bottom of the pot.
Yep.
We've got to get the ratings, we've got to get the rooms up and running and functioning by Easter, because right now, unless everyone gets their finger out, you're going to be trading at half the level you could, with half the money and with no visible presence in the marketplace. You're going to die, basically. They have got to be trading 8 rooms come Easter. That's 6 weeks' time. They've got to get a move on. At the moment, they're hanging on by their bootlaces. And if they don't get their finger out,
I'm sorry, this business might well collapse.
Ruth has left them a lot to think about, and her words have ruffled some feathers.
I think you're a little peeved, aren't you?
Yeah, I mean, no one likes being told that they're taking their time. To get, another 4 rooms and nearly all haul done in 6 weeks is very daunting, I think.
We can do it.
Yeah, it's
We will
possible.
do
It's possible.
Easter's now less than 2 months away. If the Haven is to survive to its first birthday, Rob and Ellie will have to pull out all the stops. There's a huge amount of work ahead. First, Ruth wants them to get a rating from Visit Britain, a big issue for any new hotel. Next, she wants to modernise the public areas, especially the lounge, as its current state is giving a bad impression. But as the couple are so deeply in debt, the hotel inspector will help to fund the work. The couple will be responsible for the rest of the hotel. Ruth wants Rob to finish the bedrooms and hallways as quickly as possible, so he'll need to get in some outside help. If they don't start trading all 8 rooms before the summer season begins, the business could go under. But days later, Ruth's advice still rankles with Ellie, particularly one comment.
When Ruth said that we'd easily get a 2-star, I immediately thought, I should tell my hope so too. It's not a rating that I want. If we're going to do it, we're going to do it properly and get as high as we can.
She still wants her 5. She's quite a proud person, so if she doesn't get a 5, I think if she got 4, I think she'd be happy.
Another remark that hit a nerve was Ruth's suggestion that the work on the hotel was taking too long.
He took Ruth's comments quite badly.
Yeah, she's a bit of a hard taskmaster. The deadline Ruth set us is a little bit tight. If I can prove Ruth wrong, that'd be great. To say, yes, I can actually get them done and still do them to a high standard.
But Rob's been given a somewhat unwelcome incentive.
I've put a bit more pressure on Rob because I have started to take bookings for the rooms for Easter.
So I meet my deadline, Ellie has booked some of the rooms out, so I don't really have a lot of choice but to get them done.
A little bit of pressure does no one any harm, does it?
The couple have already acted on Ruth's advice and brought in some help for Rob. The rooms are being slowly transformed into Ellie's idea of 5-star luxury. But are their standards high enough? To give them a reality check, Ruth has arranged for the couple to go to a nearby B&B that already has a 5-star rating. It should help put things in perspective for ambitious Ellie.
I don't know if she's worried. I think she wants to see what other people have got, and she'll always want to be one better than them.
We've been through the tourist standard, the standards that you need to reach, and we think that 90% of them we reach, but that's our opinion.
Ruth wants to show them that determination may not be all that's needed. Hard work, high quality across the board, and good business sense are the bottom line when it comes to gaining a top rating.
Hello.
Hi, hello. You're Rob and Ellie?
Yes,
Yeah,
we are.
Come in, please. Hi. Thank you.
Owner Angela and her husband John laboured intensively to earn their 5 stars and hold on to them for over 10 years.
What do we need to be looking for to become 5-star?
On your 5-star, you've got to be excellent or very good in every area. They particularly like nice furniture. They don't like flat pack furniture. That is one of the things.
Angela hinted that the inspectors aren't too keen on flat pack furniture. We have some flat pack wardrobes.
They are very strict, and obviously the higher grading that you want, the stricter they're going to be.
If we've scored excellent or very good in everything else, but the one thing that's let us down is flat pack furniture, I would probably have to have words.
With the fear of flat pack still in their minds, the tour moves on to the breakfast room, the heart of any 5-star establishment.
So, what do you offer for breakfast?
They have a choice of cereals. I do a homemade muesli, and then we do a full Norfolk breakfast. We do scrambled eggs and homemade fish cakes.
Do the inspectors look for
They like a nice. They do
selection?
like a nice menu. They'd rather see a menu than you tell them.
Right.
The menu is extensive and very high quality. So far, Rob and Ellie have only stretched to packet cereals and a fruit plate. Wowed by the possibilities, they head upstairs to look at one of the bedrooms.
Wow, look at this. What do you think?
Nice. A little bit floury for my liking, but
Yeah, but it's taste though. It's still nice though, isn't it?
yeah.
The decor may not be to Rob's taste, but there's no flat pack furniture in sight. But has the tour given Ellie the reality check Ruth thought she needed?
We want 5 stars. I want 5 stars.
You want 5 stars. I'll be happy with 4 or
Yeah.
even 3, but I know you wouldn't, so...
No, I wouldn't be happy with 3.
Despite the massive differences, Ellie is still clinging to her 5-star dream. A few days later, and Ruth is back in Great Yarmouth, keen to know what lessons have been learned, if any.
Did it kind of inspire you or did it depress you?
Both.
really.
When we first walked in, we thought, no, there's no way we can do this. There's no way we can get 5 stars.
Yeah.
They've got 3 bedrooms. We've got 7, 8.
Yeah.
So you're having to triple what they've done and
Yeah.
all the rest of it. But then by the time we finished, actually, we kind of thought, it's all in the extra little touches that people don't think about. So if the basics are there, like cleaning and the actual structures there, then we can do it.
But you said about the nice little bits and pieces, but it's also the underpinnings. You know, it's the quality of the architraves and the cornicing and the carpets and the, you know, the solidity of the whole thing that also matters. I mean, do you think you can do that?
Well, I like to think so.
What about you, Rob?
If we can, for the time being, just get it to a standard that's okay, rather than what we've got.
So
like
am
in the
I
hall.
hearing from you, Rob, that actually you're thinking that 3 stars would be perfectly acceptable for the moment and that you build to 5?
Yeah.
And Ellie, what about your expectations and aspirations?
I would rather aim for 5.
I think it's unrealistic, Ellie.
Ruth is concerned that Ellie's fixation with 5 stars means she's not paying enough attention to other aspects of the business.
You've been building, right? Presumably, yes, and getting on with it. Ellie, I know you've got work to do, but have you not been able to think about tidying up things?
Yes, and I've been doing little bits here and there. Unfortunately, in the past couple of weeks, while we've not been as busy as we could have been, there's been other things that we've had to deal with, like making sure all the bills get paid, making sure all the emails get replied to, that the booking site's up to
This
date.
is bullshit,
and the
bullshit,
website-
bullshit, bullshit, bullshit. What do you mean?
It might well
What
be
do you
bullshit, but
mean?
you know what, I'm sticking to it.
Bills to pay. If that takes you more than 5 hours, then you've got serious problems, greater problems than I thought you had.
Ruth is worried the couple aren't doing their homework. How will Rob and Ellie cope with the hard lessons ahead?
Fucked, really.
Please, Rob.
No, I'm just sorry. I've fucking had enough.
Four months ago, Rob Farrow and Ellie Koopman bought the Haven Hotel in Great Yarmouth. The ambitious young couple dreamt of transforming the rundown hotel into the town's first 5-star guest house.
We want 5 stars.
I'll be happy with 4 or
Yeah.
even 3, but I know you wouldn't, so...
No, I wouldn't be happy with 3.
But the building's taken all their savings and failed to give them any profit. With thousands of pounds of debt, the stress has become overwhelming. So they've enlisted the help of distinguished hotelier Ruth Watson. She's tutoring them in the art of hotel keeping, but she hasn't always seen eye to eye with her determined pupils.
This is bullshit, 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 bullshit. What do you mean?
It might well
What
be
do you
bullshit, but
mean?
you know what, I'm sticking to it.
Ruth wants them to get a recognised rating from Visit Britain, but she's concerned. Because of vital renovations to the kitchen, the couple have yet to cook a full English breakfast for any of their guests. As the final part of any inspection, it's vital they get the breakfast right. So Ruth has invited them to her own hotel in Suffolk for a crash course in cooking. The Crown and Castle's head chef, Max, is ready to take them under his wing.
So, Ellie and Rob, this is Max, our head chef, who is used to churning out at least 36 breakfasts a morning.
What's the secret to cooking the good breakfast then?
I suppose really it's the preparation. Mushrooms, tomatoes and sausages we can part cook beforehand. Okay, so just going to lay them so there's one layer.
Okay. Today they'll be instructed in every aspect of cooking the perfect full English.
5-10 minutes. Tomatoes, again, one a person.
Okay.
If Ellie's to get her longed-for 5 stars, she'll need to master the cooked breakfast, with the added pressure of a hotel full of expectant guests.
Sausages, what we're going to do with these is pop them in the oven.
Okay.
So we're going to sort of almost cook them, but with not a lot of colour. Black pudding?
Yep.
Take the horrible rubber skin off. We're just going to cut them into sort of bite-sized chunks.
It's a lot to take on board, especially under Ruth's watchful eye.
Aha! You're getting
Okay,
Ellie to actually do something.
Yep.
Right, I've always wanted to do this.
Rob, how do you think Ellie's coping with all this so far?
She's doing all right, actually.
Yes?
Can I look forward to one tomorrow morning?
Maybe?
Now all that's left to master is the fine art of displaying the food in an appetising way.
Okay, so we're going to plate it up now. So pop that on there. Okay,
Nice.
now you can kind of build your breakfast around it, whether you want to put your tomatoes sort of up against each other and your mushrooms.
Can I do some overlapping?
Yeah, you can just crisscross your bacon.
There you have it.
Full English.
Cool.
But the masterclass isn't over. Ruth has another surprise up her sleeve.
Right, well, it's not all over. I'm afraid we have another task for you. In fact, it's more than a task. So, do you want to come with me?
Oh, OK.
Like naughty schoolchildren, Rob and Ellie await their fate in the hotel's parlour.
OK, this is where I'm really going to put you on the spot. I am genuinely concerned that you may not know as much about running a business as you might think, especially a B&B. So I've got here 2 examination papers. So I'm going to leave you and come back in 20 minutes, OK? See how you get on.
After her first visit, Ruth set Rob and Ellie homework. She sent them the Gospel According to Ruth, an information pack about hotel business basics.
I just realised something. That pack that we're given to read, this is what this is. The pack that we were given 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, which
I did read, but something
you
pretty
did.
cool.
I've been too busy trying to get my rooms to honest.
Ruth wants the exam to show Rob and Ellie how far they still have to go.
I'm really concerned that they don't know how to run this business. They haven't done it before. They've received no training. And Ellie has an idea that just by furnishing the place rather beautifully and working very hard, that's all there is to it. Well, it isn't. Running a hotel or a B&B requires real understanding of how business works. And I'm hoping that this might expose their lack of knowledge in a way that will inspire them to actually go out and find out some more facts about things. Pencils down. OK. Question 1, which was write down briefly the 5 things you think are the most important about keeping a bed and breakfast establishment.
Cleanliness, customer service, comfort, quality and value for money.
And Rob?
Quality of service provided, cleanliness, friendliness and friendly manner, our appearance and the hotel appearance.
Very, very good. I give you full points for that. The one thing that you haven't got in there, which I would add, is location. Now, question 2. Write down the 3 things that are crucial to the survival of your business.
I know, but I struggle on this one.
I've put good business acumen, organisation, good reputation and good marketing.
Cash flow, profit are king, OK, in terms of the business. Question 3, how do you work out your average room rate? And I should say here that you have all these facts in the email and the folder that we've given you.
Do you want mine?
Yes, go on.
It says here, ask Ellie as I've been busy concentrating on finishing the room.
The lesson is clear. Rob and Ellie must try harder.
In some respects, you've done quite well. When it comes to the look and feel of things, then you've scored pretty highly and you're understanding what people want. When it comes to the hardcore business stuff, there's a lot to be learnt yet. Ellie and Rob have got about 2 weeks now to get this bed and breakfast up and running.
They've done a lot of work and they know there's a lot of work to be done. But what really bothers me, and I think it's beginning to sink in with them as well, is that time is really of the essence, and actually I don't think they're ready for it.
Rapidly coming up to the start of the season, we have got to get the furniture for rooms 8 and 9. We have to get new carpet for the hall. We have to replaster the hall. We have to paint the hall. We have to do our lounge and bar. We've got to paint the outside of the building. We've got to do the windows of the building.
Not much then.
The harsh reality is finally dawning on Rob and Ellie. Easter is now only weeks away, and the inspection to decide their rating could happen at any time. With mounting debts, they're fighting to keep their dream alive.
Right now, we're in our worst nightmare. If we get through Easter and beyond unscathed, it will be a miracle. We know that we've got to get it right at Easter, because if we don't get it right at Easter, then we might as well kiss goodbye to our summer season.
2 days later, the hotel's a hive of industry as Ruth's team arrive, ready to transform the old-fashioned lounge into a bright, modern room. While the work's carried out, they're also staying at the hotel. But so far, their experience has been anything but 5-star.
It hasn't been the best, because when we arrived Sunday night, went upstairs, there was no hot water at all. Heating wasn't on. Some of the people haven't had curtains in their room, and we haven't had breakfast either. If I was going to give it a star rating, I would give it sort of like 1.5 to 2 stars out of 5.
Ruth has got wind of the situation and decided it's a great opportunity for Rob and Ellie to get in some vital practice before they open the kitchen to paying guests. In high season, they could be cooking for up to 16 people at a time. Ruth has got in touch and asked them to cook a full English for the 5-man workforce, but her request hasn't gone down well.
I will do breakfast this morning for the guide.
Been nice to have known about it.
Doctor, please, Rob.
No, I'm just sorry. I've fucking had enough. Been nice to be told what's going to happen and not turn up and say, right, we want you to do this.
Come on, look, we're standing here fanning around doing this. We might as well get on and do it.
While Ellie prepares the breakfast, a deeply unhappy Rob has returned to plastering.
Sausages. Black pudding. I can't stand that.
With tensions running high and her partner absent, Ellie is left on her own to wrestle with the long list of ingredients.
The problem is that he's feeling the pressure because of all the work that we're having to get done, so I think this was possibly the last straw for today.
I've got the whole of this hallway to do from down the bottom all the way up to the top, and I've got 4 days to do it.
We got up early this morning specifically so that we could get on and get a head start on things, so I think he just took it a bit badly, this little surprise. But that's him, he's a hot-headed person, so...
So, fucked really, aren't we?
It's the first time Ellie's had to prepare a cooked breakfast for any guest, let alone 6. But when the hotel's full, they'll have to make those and more every single day. The builders seem impressed with the full English.
I think they enjoyed breakfast. Either that or they're so hungry they don't care.
Yeah.
Despite the tension, breakfast has proved a valuable lesson for Ellie and ultimately lured Rob back from the brink.
How many stars do you think that breakfast is worth?
Out of how many?
5.
5.
You smarmy man.
Ellie's breakfast is the toast of Great Yarmouth, or at least part of it. And it marks a turning point for the couple. It's a slow and draining process, but over the coming weeks, the haven and its owners undergo a remarkable transformation. Some of the corridors and landings still need work, but Rob and Ellie have finally finished all 8 bedrooms. The ugly curtains and stencils have been replaced with modern fixtures and fittings. In room 2, the peach decor has been transformed into a cool and elegant green space. A Rob and Ellie have made it even better by ditching the flat pack in favour of quality furnishings. Downstairs, Ruth's team have taken the old-fashioned lounge from dark and dusty to light and clean, more in keeping with the young couple's style. They even plan to change the name from The Haven to Number 78, a simple and more modern title that suits the new look. And in a few weeks, new signage will smarten up the old-fashioned exterior. With all the elements in place, Ruth has arranged for the official hotel inspector to come and stay. His surprise visit could happen at any time. But Ruth is still concerned Rob and Ellie are so fixated with their decor, they're letting other aspects of the business slide. She's decided to spring a surprise on them. At Ruth's behest, 2 sets of undercover guests have booked to stay the night. They'll be able to check out every aspect of the hotel and will report back to Ruth, warts and all. Brother and sister Joe and Ed arrive first, followed by couple Will and Maya. Both are equipped with a secret video camera. They'll check in and stay the night, monitoring Rob and Ellie's hospitality and courtesy. Ruth wants to see how they both cope with the day-to-day requests of the average customer.
Breakfast is served from 8 till 9 in the morning, right down in the basement.
The only problem with this room seems to be this fruit that has a bit of a maggot in it.
The kettle has been boiling for about 2 minutes now.
Do the other channels work? So I can only get BBC 1 and 2.
The following morning, the spies rendezvous with Ruth on the seafront, a safe distance from the hotel.
So, guys, you've just been to stay at the Haven in its new form. Did you have a great time?
Very pleasant. She was really, yeah, everything seemed very clean from the minute we sort of got there, really.
Did you ask her to do anything out of the ordinary?
We did have an issue with the kettle, didn't we?
The kettle
was leaking.
leaked, yeah. I just picked the kettle up, poured my tea like this, put it down and it just dribbled everywhere underneath. When we came back, it seemed to all have been sorted.
Done, yes, OK. And what about you, Joe and Ed? How did your welcome go?
Our arrival was a bit more complicated because we'd actually booked 1 room and then we arrived and we wanted 2, well, we wanted twin beds instead of a double.
The only option I can give you is if I have a quick word next door and see if they've got a twin room available.
She didn't have twin beds, so she offered to send us to the hotel next door.
Hang on a moment, was she full? Could she not have given you 2 separate rooms?
She didn't have a twin room.
Right.
But she said she could give us 2 separate rooms.
If you don't mind waiting 5-10 minutes, what we can do is we can put one person in one room and another person in another.
So we said we'd be happy with 2 separate rooms. And
did she charge you the same price as she would have done for a twin, or?
No, it was supposed to be £45, and for 2 rooms she gave us the second room for 20 instead of an extra 45.
Right, OK, so she did some kind of deal on it. Yeah, OK. And how was breakfast, Ed? Did you enjoy your breakfast?
Yeah, it's really nice. It's like exactly what you sort of expect from a full English.
On the whole, do you think Ellie put up a good performance, did well?
Really good, yeah.
Really well, yeah.
She's very nice.
And would you go back there?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I would. If I was coming
recommend
back to Great Yarmouth, definitely.
Yeah, that's great. Marvellous.
The young customers were clearly impressed by the new look number 78. It seems Ruth's advice hasn't fallen on deaf ears. Rob and Ellie have made huge steps forward, both in terms of the decor and the hotel's management. But there's still one final hurdle to overcome: the inspection. Ruth decides to return to the hotel to assess the changes for herself. First for scrutiny, the new lounge.
Crumbs.
Welcome to our lounge.
This is so much bigger.
Yeah, definitely.
Much lighter and more spacious, isn't it? Aren't you thrilled with the change in the space and the feeling that it's actually modern and youthful and reflects more your style, surely?
I've got my wood floor.
And you've got your wood floor.
Next for inspection, bedroom number 2. It's been a labour of love for Rob, but has his effort been worth it?
Oh, now this is a triumph. It's a beautiful room. I mean, it really is lovely proportions. I think it works really, really well. And as far as I'm concerned, Ellie, the 5 stars is still elusive, but this is the model. If this was moved throughout the whole hotel and transposed, then you're looking at 5 stars. But, you know, we have still got areas, corridors and bits and pieces which don't tell the same story.
The couple have fared well so far, but their final and biggest test is yet to come. Tomorrow, an inspector calls.
Here on behalf of Visit Britain to do your assessment for the star rating.
For the past 4 months, Ruth Watson has been helping Rob Farrow and Ellie Koopman prepare for an assessment by Visit Britain. With their livelihood in the balance, Judgment Day has finally arrived. Last night, the official inspector checked in undercover. He's assessed the quality of the hotel and secretly sampled the breakfast. Meanwhile, Ruth's been keeping a watchful eye on things in the kitchen.
The seasoning, bit of oil, jolly good.
After breakfast, the undercover inspector heads to reception, where a blissfully ignorant Rob is attending to paperwork.
Morning.
Now he can reveal his true identity, at least to Rob and Ellie.
Give you my card from Quality and Tourism.
Hello.
Here on behalf of Visit Britain to do your assessment for the star rating.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
For the next 30 minutes, the inspector tours the hotel with Rob and Ellie in private, scrutinising each room before finally reuniting the couple with Ruth to reveal his decision. 6 months of hard work, financial worries and the strain on their relationship have come down to this. Despite everything, Ellie has refused to lower her sights from 5 stars. Now the moment of truth has finally arrived.
Okay. Once again, thanks very much for a comfortable stay. And obviously giving me the opportunity to have a look around the property. I'm going to put you out of misery. Basically, overall, your assessment has come out as a good 4 star, okay, which is a credit to yourselves. You okay?
It's good. I'm glad you're happy. You should be. It's a fantastic rating.
We've talked about the bedrooms and bathrooms.
Yeah.
You know, I think room 2, I said to you, you know, if you're looking to move the standard forward, think about that level of quality throughout all the rooms, okay? We've talked about the public areas, corridors, stairs, they're huge, I know. You've got some finishing off to do. You know, the bedrooms, they look really sound, but the corridors and stairs perhaps let it down slightly. But your overall has actually come out at 4, and there are some 4-star elements, which is why it's 4-star. But you've also got some 3-star, which, you know, you need to move on with.
Ellie may not have got her 5 stars, but 4 stars is a remarkable achievement for a first attempt and a great launchpad to remarket the hotel. All that remains is for Ruth to sit Rob and Ellie down for a final debrief.
First thing is, many congratulations on your 4 stars.
Thank you.
You're pleased?
Yes, very pleased.
You've had 3 or 4 months of what effectively is hotel school. How do you think you've coped with it all?
Well, we're still here.
We're still here, we're still together. It's been hard.
And what about the 5 stars? Does it really still matter to you, getting 5 stars?
It's not the 5 stars as such, it's just that...
Ellie, it's almost as if, and I know nothing about your childhood, but it's almost as if I didn't ever get what I thought I should have got at school or at work or wherever, or university, and if I'm going to get somebody to say I am the best, this is where I'm going to do it. Is that way off the mark?
No, it's not way off the mark. I don't know, it's teachers telling me I'll be no more than a checkout girl. Very bright, but underachieving. I'm not there.
No.
Told you I wasn't going to be a checkout girl.
So it really is something to prove to people.
It's not, well, yeah, but that's the kind of person I am.
And that's the other reason for getting everything done. That's what gave us that extra push, wasn't it? You see what I mean?
Anyway, you've done very, very well.
Thank you.
I have been worried along the way. Didn't like your sulky face at times. Didn't like the fact that you weren't very good in adversity. But you have stuck at it and you have achieved something right now. It's a very short period of time and you've done a very good job in that. What I want to know this in 2 years' time is that you're still loving it, working hard at it, giving everyone a good service, a good product, the building is getting smarter and smarter. This isn't just short term.
No, it's not short term at all.
So, all I have to say is fantastic, well done. You've been very good pupils, and I hope you carry on the schoolwork. All right, see you. Bye-bye. With the acquisition and the refurbishment of the Haven, soon to be known as 78, Ellie and Rob have taken on a project that a couple twice their age would find really daunting. They're so young and they've achieved so much in such a short time period. 4 stars is a remarkable achievement. As long as they remember that customers are the name of the game, then I think they're going to have a great future.
Next time on The Hotel Inspector...
Do I want a pale peach sunken whirlpool bath? It would be like waking up in a herbaceous border. I sometimes end up feeling quite depressed when I leave here.
Well, that's at the same time next week, but if you really want to know what Ruth's thinking, hop over to 5 Life now for Hotel Inspector Unseen. Next tonight on 5, it's Californication.